So welcome to the walk around of the 955i Daytona. She's from 2002, 2003 I believe, not 100% sure. I've changed only a few things. I've changed the indicators. The old indicators were really bulky and kind of ugly, especially the front ones are more flush. They're like fairing indicators. You can see here there are some cracks because the previous owner has actually dropped the bike. He wasn't driving when he dropped it. You can see that the indicators cracked, the levers are scratched, the slider cover was broken, and there's a scratch on the rear here. These are the old indicators. I thought they were too bulky. You can see they were already broken. They were sticking out too much. They're also scratched because of basically the drop that the bike has endured, and especially in the front they just stick out way too much. I think you can see what that looks like. They're really bulky and big and ugly. I got rid of them. I think that was a good idea. I extended the frame sliders a bit. I bought a longer bolt and I put a shitload of washers on it, like $10 worth of washers that I put on both sides. And before, the frame sliders were basically flush with the fairing. You can see the amount of space that is added, and you can see the amount of washers I put. So before, the frame slider finished just about here, which I didn't get the point. They're not frame sliders, they were like engine sliders or something. I don't know if they're from a street triple maybe here, or from a speed triple maybe, and not for Daytona. But they wouldn't have done fuck all. Another thing I changed is I put the pipe on, which is basically the mount for my camera. So let us put this second piece of pipe on it so you guys can see what I'm actually talking about. So I'm always riding around with this piece of pipe here, but the second piece basically only gets attached when I want to do some third-person view filming. Don't actually have to tighten it up today because I'm going to take it off. So you can see the pipe here, and I noticed that it moves now because it got so hot. There needs to be some thread lock in it. So you can see the picture because of the fascia is always straight, and the bike's leaning now because it's on the side stand. But the view is going to look something like this. The fascia is really worth its money, and the pipe was not such a bad idea. The rig I built for the BMW is just too big. I cannot ride around with this stuff. But this doesn't look bad at all. At least in my humble opinion. Hey. I've just recently spray painted it. It used to be grey. You can see that I didn't do a very good job. It's just some piece of shit water pipe. It doesn't really matter. Another thing I changed is the screen. Let's have a look at the one I put on, including all the flies and shit. Cheap crap. Cheap crap is what I bought. That screen was, I don't know, $80. There were a lot more expensive ones out there. I bought a set of screws for the windshield, and they're all rubber mounted now, but they didn't fit properly. The problem was when I bought the bike, it had mismatched screws on the screen, but I think the black shield fits really nicely. Let me show you the original. So This is the original screen. You can probably see where this used to belong. So it was basically round. It does not have a double bubble. Double bubble pushes the wind a bit higher. I think it was worth the money. Another thing that was done to the bike is the luggage stuff I added onto it. You can see the straps with the clips on the back here. Those straps basically go around the seat. You take the seat off, you put the straps around it, and you have the clips on the side. And then the bag very easily just attaches to the rear of the bike. You can just clip it on. The problem is it's not really protected against thieves, but they both come with a kind of handle, so you can actually carry these bags around with you. I usually have one for crap stuff, t-shirts, food, water, and the other one for valuables, so I take the one with the valuables in it with me. I think this looks actually quite nice and flush with the bike. They are much wider bags, but I didn't think they would look as good. Now in the front, the problem with the front is that basically Givi makes these rings, and they have a mounting system for pretty much all bikes that there are on the market, at least in my opinion, like the bigger ones. And you can basically just take this ring and you buy a different adapter for the ring. The ring comes with the bag, the adapter comes separately, so you can fit it on your bike and you can just throw the bags on it. The bottom of the bag has the ring-shaped counterpart, and you just throw the bag on it and then it's locked, so this bag doesn't fall off. You push the lever on the side here and you can take it off. And I bought this system because the BMW has the same ring on it, and I can use the same tank bag for both bikes. And you can see the bag itself is not touching the tank at all. There are no straps on it, there are no magnets on it, there are no suction cups on it, there is basically nothing on it. The tank ring and the screws, that's where they're actually supposed to be, are the only thing where the tank bag makes contact with the bag. Now the problem is that I believe this same tank was used in a bunch of different Triumph bikes, and Givi just decided that since it's the same tank, the same ring adapter actually fits all the bikes. But this being a sport bike, it didn't. You can imagine that the tank bag sits around in this position and that my stomach's in the way. Like the arms are fairly long, but basically your chest hits the edge of the tank bag. So I built an extender and I moved the whole thing to a bit forward. You can see I put some kind of foam, sticky side foam on the tank. So I'm really happy with this upgrade. I just bought some screws. These are the screws that came with the ring, and I bought 2 pieces of metal, and I basically just ground this stuff down so that the tank actually opens. And yeah, it does actually open. Ta-da! Quite easily. So that fits well. That was a good job. I have a second bag, a bigger one. I think the smaller one is 4 liter. This one is 25, and it extends. So you can open the zipper here, and you can actually put more stuff in it. This is a fairly big bag. This was basically bought for touring for the BMW. The joke about this whole system is that Givi sells the rings with the bags and the adapters separately. So if you buy one bag and have 3 bikes, and you buy 3 different adapters for the 3 different tanks, you are only owning one of these plastic rings, because the rings come with the bags. So you would have to buy 3 different bags to put the 3 different rings with the 3 different adapters on your 3 different bikes. That's why I bought a second bag, because I had 2 bikes. So originally I had bought the small one, and then I realized that even though I have the adapter for the BMW, I don't have the plastic ring. So That was a bit of a cheat. That was well thought through, you fuckers. So, well, now it fits. Gotcha. Also not touching. Yeah, this goes around here somewhere. So there's more stability because the bag is bigger. You can see I'm using a RAM mount, but I could actually put my phone up here. I just need a longer charge cable. I don't think I will be using this bag anytime soon on the Daytona, so I'm good with it. So yeah, this has basically been the walk around. Just a few quick expressions. I hope I can get rid of all the reflections of my face of the bike. That was a bit of a shit turnout. I hope you can't see too much of it. But yeah, see you next time. I need to do the same thing with the BMW, but it's a bit more complex because I bought so much extra shit for it. Different seats, 4 different screens, the top box. And she really needs a wash, and the tires are really fucked, so I need to get tires on it soon. But anyway, this is bike number 1. I need to redo the second walk around. But there's an older one which you can have a look at. So check it out, Riding Japan. See you guys next time.